Retro now.
Hey, this is Catherine Tabor, Senator Padme Amidala from Star Wars The Clone Wars, and you're listening to Jay and Dennis on Podcast Stardust. Stay on the light side.
Merry Force be with you, Star Wars fans. I'm Jay Krebs.
And I'm Dennis Keithley.
And this is another fully armed and operational episode of Podcast Stardust, the galaxy source for the latest Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. Dennis, where can our listeners find us on social media?
So we are on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust. And if you have more to say and you don't want to say it in public, you can email us at podcaststardust@retrozap.com or podcaststardust@gmail.com. Either one.
There you go. There you go. Welcome to episode 976, which spotlights our special monthly feature called A World Between Worlds, a mystical dimension that connects Star Wars fashion and lifestyle products to your space and time. The goal of this feature is, as Fennec Shand might say, to allow your name to be legendary this holiday season by creating a shopping experience with products from the world of Star Wars worthy of gift giving that will go down in history, kind of like Rudolph. We're down in history. So whether you need some elf with ideas for gifts or stocking stuffers for the favorite Star Wars fan in your life, or maybe snag yourself a little something, we just know you'll appreciate the help. Yes, the puns are forthcoming, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
And as is always our tradition, Dennis, you get to go first and let us know if you've gotten anything Star Wars related since our last edition of World Between Worlds. And I just happen to know that you do have something to share, and I'm tremendously excited to hear all about it.
You know, Jay wrote the show notes when she gets this many puns right off the top of the episode. So, yeah. At any rate, yes, we did get something. Last time we were talking about the gingerbread Lego AT-AT, and lo and behold, my wife acquired it for us. So I didn't actually put it together. Alec did the day after Thanksgiving, and did not take him long at all. It took an hour or so. It's not that many pieces. It's half the size of the regular Lego AT-AT, and I can't tell you about the UCF version, the master version. That's like $700, how much smaller it is than that. But it is a fun addition to we have a little Lego holiday display that we put up on one of the kitchen counters, and we've got like Santa's workshop there and a Christmas tree with some presents around it and things like that. But now gingerbread Darth Vader and his gingerbread AT-AT are marching upon that little holiday display that we made out of Lego. I'm going to find some of my Star Wars Lego minifigures that have come from the various advent calendars and supplement the whole thing with those as well. I think they would be a fun addition now that we've got the gingerbread AT-AT, but it's fun. It's fun to have there. It's just as much fun as you would imagine when you look at the box. And so, yeah, it was fun to kind of spice everything up with that.
Oh my goodness. You're going to have to put some of those pictures on our Facebook, and please make sure you send them to me so I can put them on our Instagram as well, because that is so cool. I just love that.
Oh yeah.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not a particularly complex build, and everyone's had fun fiddling with it since they finished it on Friday last week. So
cool.
Yeah, definitely check that out.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I have nothing new to report, but I am so excited to share what I found for this episode. So we're going to jump right in. And hopefully after the, Christmas season is over, I will have something to report when we come back for January's World Between Worlds, because I know we always have some fun recapping our holiday finds as well. So first up, what I think is probably the most talked about fashion drop in Star Wars right now, actually happening tomorrow, December 11th, is the Endor collection from Columbia. And this is a special edition wardrobe inspired by Return of the Jedi. And the collection includes pieces like camouflage ponchos, echoing what the rebels wore on the Force Moon of Endor, jackets, vests, boots, and even Ewok-themed fleeces for the littles. And we'll get into some of the specifics here in just a few seconds. But I think it's noteworthy that if you are a member of Columbia's Greater Rewards program, you could beat the Gen Pop and shop today. So the day that this actually drops, the 10th. And it's super easy to sign up with your email. You get birthday rewards, points with every purchase, and free shipping on anything and everything. So if you shop Columbia a lot, I think it would be worth signing up. And even if you don't, and you just really want to get in on this drop, you could do that too.
There
So
you go.
the collection combines what they say authentic Star Wars detail, things like the prints, insignias, references to Endor lore, with a lot of modern functional outerwear technology from Columbia. So waterproof fabrics, performance boots, and real usable outdoor gear. Some options for what I like to call everyday cosplay. So things like the ponchos are very, Endor friendly, and you could wear those to any con, and the little Ewok jackets and things, but it's also functional and fun. And it's actually Columbia's biggest Star Wars themed lineup yet, designed to be wearable and collectible, bridging that fan nostalgia and real world adventure wear. So let's get into talking about some of the specific pieces in the collection here. There's actually quite a few, and the prices are huge in range. I mean, you're looking at anywhere from a $45 ball cap with the Endor insignia, like issue kind of thing, camp thing, and a $25 33-ounce water bottle with Ewok on it that says Nub Nub, all the way up to $300 and $400, even $600 for the General Han Solo trench jacket. So there's just literally way too many individual pieces here to go through all of them. But what I really appreciate about a lot of these is it truly does give you that forest moon of Endor feel with all of these. Very Andor-ish feeling too, if you look at some of the pieces here. But then there's also some things that are not even clothing related. Like I said, the water bottle, there's also a blanket that is a quilted blanket that has an image of Luke on his speeder going through the forest of Endor. And then there's also a boots. So there's hiking boots for $220. There's a cargo backpack for $120. There's a bottle sling for $70, some t-shirts, and some cargo vests. So, other than that, there's some long sleeve shirts, some cargo pants, a lot of camo in this one, obviously very similar to the Endor feel. And then again, for the littles, you've got your Ewok fleece jackets. And then there's also the infant Ewok fleece bunting, which is so adorable. You can dress your little one just like an Ewok if you want to. And that one is actually $70. And it goes all the way up from newborns to 18 and 24 months. So loving that one right there. So are there any in the collection that kind of speak to you personally that could be on your wish list if you had unlimited funds?
Right. Um, yeah, I mean, my usual caveat when the Columbia collection comes out is that I just don't live in an environment where these are going to be practical most of the time for
Sure.
me. Like when they did the Hoth collection a couple years ago, just no way. It's not cold enough here on a regular basis. That being said, the I like the General Han Solo trench better on Harrison Ford than I think I would myself, just looking at the style that they've come up here. This seems to be a bit more of a practical version of what he was wearing. The poncho, though, really appeals to me, but the camo, that's not something I just feel. I need a jacket I can throw on and zip up or whatever. That's not going to work for me. It's a great cosplay piece, I think. I would love to have something like that if I was going to cosplay there. But if I were going for something more practical, that Endor issue cargo jacket, I think would be my number one choice of these things to get. It's something that it's got a little bit of Star Wars touch and flair to it, but it would work much better for my everyday wear, which is what I'm looking for than any of those other things, I think. But how
Mm-hmm.
about you?
No, that's totally fair. Yeah, that cargo jacket is a great choice. And that one is on sale. Well, it will be on sale tomorrow for $200. And it has a lot of layers built into it too. So that way, like you said, it's very versatile in that way. Personally, I really like some of the more just everyday kinds of things. The pullovers, I love those hiking boots just because I love to hike. So I just think that that
Yeah.
would just for me personally be absolutely amazing. I would snag the poncho only because of the fact that, of course, for cosplay, it would be the perfect addition to be able to utilize with my Endor Leia that I actually do from time to time. I am kind of really digging this reversible jacket though that they have also for $200. And what's really cool about this one is that it is a deep olive that you can reverse, and it looks very, very not camo-y, but it kind of looks like a forest print. So it's
Mhm.
got, almost like the stripes that you would see represented on like a tree where it has the moss and the bark and and all of those kinds of things. So I just think that that's really, really cool. And it's got the stain repellency, hand pockets that are zippered, all kinds of stuff. So it's fleece, and then it's also got that water repellent too, which I think is really super cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be my pick for sure. But one of the things that really was endearing is that there's a behind the scenes reel on Instagram of them filming one of the promotions for the line that features Billie Lourd, which is Carrie Fisher's daughter, for those who may not know that. And what's really cool about this is that Billie's not just modeling this stuff, she's actually recreating iconic moments from Return of the Jedi, including wearing Leia's rebel poncho, the one that's on sale, and styling her hair similar to how her mother did in the film. And she described the campaign as, quote unquote, the easiest yes of her life because it gave her a chance to honor her mom's legacy in the Star Wars universe for her own kids, who she says now love Star Wars. And they even wore the Ewok inspired pieces from the collection, and they're so stinking cute. And I did find a quote online from E Online where Billy said, "A year ago, I showed them Return of the Jedi for the first time, meaning her kids, and they were a little bit confused. They're like, wait, that's my grandma. Like, no, that's Princess Leia. Your grandma's Carrie, but that's Princess Leia." And they were just so enthralled. I sat behind them and cried while they watched it. And that just spoke volumes to me, of course, as a huge Carrie Fisher fan, and then also as a mom. And that just brought tears to my eyes. And Billy went on to explain that participating in the campaign felt overwhelmingly emotional and meaningful. And she wore a moonstone ring that once belonged to her mother during the shoot, which she said helped her feel connected to her mom. And the shoot actually took place in the actual redwoods. So it's that type of forest environment meant to evoke Endor, which added to the emotional resonance, I think. And they even tried to recreate the scene with Wicket on the log where
Mhm.
Carrie met Wicket for the first time, or Leia met Wicket for the first time, but Billy was doing it with one of her own kids. And I was like, oh, be still my heart. This is just, it's so perfect. So if anybody hasn't seen that on Instagram yet, just go to Columbia's Instagram profile and you will find it in their reel section and their feed, which is amazing. Did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah, I watched the reel. I also went to StarWars.com, which has got a lot of coverage on this as well.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so I was reading a lot of the same things. I think just written a little differently there. But she talked about the ring, and she talked about the which she was calling the Ewok onesies that she put her kids in, and yeah, recreating those images. So plenty of options to learn more about this. But yeah, it was cool seeing them go to the redwoods and shoot all these things and revisit those. I mean, she's essentially cosplaying her mom, which is
Right.
how of us can do that. So it's
Exactly.
in a sci-fi fashion anyway. But at any rate, that was it was fun to read. It was fun to explore.
Yep, absolutely. So if anybody's interested in snagging anything from the collection, you can hit up the link in our show notes or you can go to Columbia.com. All right, moving on. So next we're going to hit the Her Universe tradition. And Her Universe is offering a limited edition exclusive holiday pin once again this year, signed by Ashley Eckstein, with a minimum of $50 purchase or more online. And Dennis, this is actually the 16th year for the campaign.
Yeah.
And I hadn't realized that it had been going on for 16 years already, which is great. The years just keep ticking off. It's crazy. But I do have several of the former holiday pins. I meant to try to go through my collection today before we recorded, and I did not get a chance to. I had some things that showed up on my bingo card that I wasn't planning on today, such is life, but that's okay. But if you want to snag one of these pins, once again, your $50 or more online will get you one of 2,500 pins that are available. And the design is really cute. It's our favorite droid duo, so 3PO and R2D2, cozied up as hot cocoa mugs. So it's actually called droid mugs. And this is complete with some whipped cream on top and a candy cane on each one that's positioned to form a heart above the mugs. Super cute. And the design was actually voted on by fans in a poll that was previously offered. So I missed the poll completely, but apparently there were some other choices that were out there as well. So I'll have to go back and see if I can find what the other choices were, but this is super cute. And so you can check that out on Her Universe. And Ashley was also online on Instagram in a reel promoting the pin as well as wearing this gorgeous, I'm obsessed with this dress, can I just say, the Ahsoka Tano sweater dress. And so if you go to heruniverse.com, you will find this sweater dress, and it is a Her Universe exclusive on sale right now for $52.43, down from $74.90. So this would actually satisfy that minimum $50 requirement if that is in fact something that you would want to do. So the details on this is a sweater dress. So it's obviously a knit sweater dress inspired by Ahsoka's Clone Wars outfit. It is a burgundy dress that features embroidered designs down the waist tie and Ahsoka's fulcrum emblem at the chest. And it comes with a mock neck, little keyhole in the front, side seam pockets, and it's available only, like I said, at Her Universe. So this is a beautiful dress, and I just love the look. I love the silhouette of this dress. So it is definitely my pick for the current Her Universe offerings that are out there. But there is a huge holiday section of all kinds of new merch and holiday merch that you can check out on the Her Universe website, which we simply do not have time to go through all of them. So I've picked out a couple of things in addition to the sweater dress. And for me personally, for the guys, my pick is the Obi-Wan Kenobi color block sweatshirt. And this one is actually from the Our Universe holiday collection. And so I just really like the look of this one. And it says Star Wars without saying, Star Wars, maybe like we always say, it's a little bit more subtle, if you will, but it does have the Kenobi Jedi along the bottom rib. And it is on sale right now for $38.43. So some of the other details on this one is that it has a tan and brown color blocking, features a silhouette of Obi-Wan at the chest with the Jedi symbol, and his lightsaber is embroidered on the right sleeve, and his name is also printed along the hem, as I said. So I just really dig this one. I like the variance in the colors. So you've got the tan in the middle, the cream kind of on the sides, and then the brown sleeves. So I just think this one's really sharp, and it looks like it's double layered because it's kind of like a crew neck sweatshirt, but then it's got a collar, almost like a polo top type collar that's peeking out of the top of it. So it's pretty sleek. I really like this one. What do you think of this one?
Oh, it's creative. It doesn't work for my personal style. I prefer more solid colors on my attire, but I am impressed with the embroidered lightsaber on the sleeve on that one. That's some pretty cool work that they've done there. And I'm glad you pointed out that the collar was actually on the shirt. I couldn't tell if this guy that's the model for it was wearing the sweatshirt over a collared shirt or not. But at any rate, yeah, this is one of the things I got to give Her Universe props for, whether you're talking about Her Universe, Our Universe, or whatever, is that they always come up with something very fashion forward with each one of these releases, and this is it. This is really innovative.
I like how you put that, fashion forward and innovative. Absolutely right. But not in a way that's not reachable, by the
Right.
general population. So it's not like so out there that, 'cause sometimes you see those things on those runways and you're like, "Oh, that kind of looks like a garbage bag, but it's supposed to be high
Right.
fashion," kind of thing. So yeah, so that you definitely put
Yeah,
that
but
so
this
good.
is pushing a boundary, I think, a little bit. This is
Mhm.
like I said, I'm much more conservative with my style when it comes down to it. I mean, like right now, I'm wearing a solid gray hoodie and that Millennium Falcon shirt that we talked about. I can't remember how many worlds from worlds again ago like that. They're solid colors with a print on them. This is multicolors here with some creative embroidery on the side. This is something that is not typical that you're going to find if you want to go buy a Star Wars shirt. And I think it makes a statement in that regard.
Mhm. Very well said, very well said. Yeah, because
Mhm.
some of those other things can be borderline ugly, that's for sure. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of ugly, I did that on purpose. They also have an ugly sweater that you can choose from on the Her Universe website as well. So, ugly sweaters are all the thing for the holiday season, and a lot of families go all out, and I know a lot of places where people work, they have ugly sweater contests or most creative ugly sweater and that type of thing. So this is one that you could potentially add to that collection again from Her Universe. So this one is again on sale for 30% off right now, and it's $45.43. And this one actually showcases a festive stocking and gingerbread cookie design inspired by Yoda, Darth Vader, R2D2, and C3PO. So you actually see Darth Vader, Yoda, C3PO, for example, peeking out of the stockings. But I think it's interesting that Darth Vader has his own stocking, kind of like his, light console kind of thing. So it's black with the
Yeah.
console. And then Yoda's is got a green band around the top, and then it's almost looks like a Jedi robe with the brown, but it's got a little red bow. But then C3PO is peeking out of R2D2 as a stocking. So
Yeah.
once again, they've paired the two of them up together, but it's got a lot of the Fair Isle pattern designs that depict cookies, candy canes, snowflakes, and all accented with rebel and imperial emblems. So it's very busy, that's for sure, but it's got a lot going on. But I also like it because other than some of the brighter colors on the stockings themselves, like the green and then of course R2D2's blue and white, it's not super, super bright. So you've got some grays and blacks and cream colors and then some kind of cranberry reds in there as well. So it's got that ugly sweater spirit without being maybe too over the top, which I think that's a nice little balance there. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So thoughts on all this.
yeah,
One, I don't think ugly Christmas sweaters are actually even ugly anymore. I think it's
right?
that's a moniker that they got. I don't know how many years ago, but every year we get new batches of ugly quote unquote Christmas sweaters, and they're designed to celebrate fandom. They're
Oh
not
yeah.
they're not like the garish patterns anymore. I mean, yes, this is not what something that you'd want on like a long sleeve t-shirt that you're wearing in September, maybe. But the point is that they're designed to celebrate fandom. I think Star Wars does such a good job in farming these out to the various people that make them in this situation. I do love the Christmas cookie rendition of these characters on the little
Mhm.
stockings that they got there. I don't own any ugly Christmas sweaters, and I should probably remedy that at some point and wear. But it's just I would probably wear it twice in an entire year, and I'm not sure that's worth the closet space. But
Right.
regardless, it's this one. I mean, as far as they go, this is not bad. I mean, this is something I wouldn't wear to necessarily to an office Christmas party unless that was the theme. But
Mhm.
it's something that you could wear amongst your friends while celebrating the holidays for certain.
Oh, for sure. And that's one thing I will say that I miss about teaching is now that I'm retired is that for, a couple of weeks ahead of Christmas break, I would always pull out, whatever Star Wars kind of festive sweaters and things that I have. And every year, Box Lunch always has a new Star Wars Christmas sweater. Last year, I didn't get it because I don't even remember what last year's was, quite honestly, because that's how much of an impact it made on me, and I didn't get it. But I got the Boba Fett one the year before, and those are really well made as well. And then I also actually found one a couple years ago at Walmart in the men's section that had Darth Vader on it. So there's tons of different retailers that have these. And so I have collected quite a few, and I've actually also purchased the tops of some of the Hannah Anderson PJ sets that we've talked about before, and I've worn those just as tops, with like a puffy vest or something like
Sure.
that. So I feel like there's all kinds of different ways that you can display your fandom around the holidays and just have a little bit of fun with it. So I will say I do miss that just a little bit. So I'll just have to go up and get them out of my closet and sit down with some hot cocoa and drink out of my Darth Vader mug. And I'll just have to get my holly out of it right now, but that's okay. But at any rate, so if you need some more ideas, even more ideas for some sweaters, or ugly sweaters as they are, there is a website that I found called Geeks Outfit. And this is a newer website that I had not heard of before. So I was having a whole lot of fun going down a rabbit hole. Got a few new websites this time, actually, for our listeners that we've never touched upon before. So this is one of those. And if you go to the website itself, they have tons and tons of different things. They also have PJ sets as well, which I'm going to get into, but there's some fun cardigans on the website. And one of them is this really fun, it has like Boba Fett, and it's all green and white and red, and it's a button down V-neck cardigan, and it has AT-ATs on it being wrapped up by snow speeders. And then, like I said, it has Boba Fett on it, some Imperial symbols, and it's got R2D2 and everything. They're just kind of flying all over the place, and with X-Wings. And those are on sale for $39.99 on the website. And there are actually several cardigans on the website. There's also one that has some dinosaurs on it as well, which is kind of fun. And that one's more of a science-y one than Star Wars. But at any rate, what I really liked about this one is I learned something totally new while I was on this website. And they have PJs and lounge pants available, which are basically PJ bottoms. But when I was looking at what they were made out of, because of course, you know me, I'm the textiles person, and I always like to see what they're made out of. They are made of the super soft fabric known as milk silk, which are lightweight, has a gentle sheen, and are considered skin friendly. And it's not actual silk, but the website says that it's made with milk proteins. Okay, so
Huh.
get this, Dennis. I looked this up, and apparently these fibers can be made by spinning the casein in cow's milk. So there's, whey and casein
Sure.
proteins. So you can spin these into fibers that can then be blended with other types of textiles, which are usually some kind of synthetic like rayon or polyester or whatever. But this creates a fabric that has moisture wicking properties, antibacterial ability, and the feel is almost buttery on these. And apparently it's a very popular material right now. I have
Interesting.
never heard of milk silk. Have you?
No, this is news to me.
Yeah, and I even owned a dairy farm for decades, so with my husband. So, anyways, but to me, it sounds like the perfect product to wear while getting cozy and watching a Star Wars marathon. Or this time of year, it could be your favorite Christmas movie, like Die Hard or Bad Moms Christmas. Wait, those
Violent
are
Night.
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know every year is the debate of is Die Hard a Christmas movie? If you talk to Gen Xers, yes, yes, it is. Just
Yes.
saying.
Uh-huh.
And then they also have some matchy-matchy kind of things for couples. So there's a few actually different sets. I had linked one of these in our notes, but it's a cute one. It's got the buffalo plaid with the black and red pajama pants, and then the top is like a baseball type shirt, and it has ho ho ho. And then on the O's in each one of those, you've got a stormtrooper, Grogu, and BB-8. So those are a lot of fun. So you have red and black. You can also get green and white in the buffalo print, and then red, white, and elk. So if you want to do the buffalo print with some Christmas trees and elks, in addition to your Star Wars prints, have at it. So once again, that is on geeksoutfit.com. And right now they also have gift offers on orders over $39. So I'm not sure if that's going to still be available when this drops, but as of the time of this recording, it is. So once again, check out the link in our show notes. But I am very intrigued about this milk silk. And I guess there are some imposters out there too. So you have to be really careful to read the fine print and see if it's actually made from milk.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I doubt you if you're lactose intolerant, it won't matter though, because you're not eating it.
You're not ingesting it. Yeah.
You can literally have your milk and cookies with that one. So, all right, here we go. Sparkly things. If you love Grogu, and who doesn't, Bauble Bar has you covered with their new line of jewelry. So, Bauble Bar is very popular, I know, with the Disney fans because they originated from the Disney parks type of inspiration for a lot of their jewelry. And so the items in this collection range from different types of jewelry, such as necklaces, rings, earrings, bracelets, to different types of accessories. So there's bag charms, pins, offering both subtle and statement making pieces. So the collection actually blends a lot of whimsy and fandom nostalgia with everyday wear sensibility. And a couple things I liked about it, I feel like there's a lot of versatile giftability with these because there's a wide range of jewelry and accessory types. So again, you have bracelets, rings, bag charms, that type of thing. And there's something for different tastes, budgets, and ages even. For example, the bag pins, which are essentially just, collectible types of pins that you can, snap onto a canvas bag or a backpack, that type of thing. Those are $12, and then all the way up to $78 for the 3D Grogu bag charm. And so it's about 3 inches tall and lots of sass. So if you check out the website and go to Bauble Bar, you'll see the full collection. But once again, we don't have time to go through every single one of these. But there's some really nice looking stackable kinds of things here as well. And one of those is called the Pisa Charm Bracelet for $48. And I've been seeing these types of bracelets quite a bit that have the little gold beads that are basically like almost like a pearl bracelet, but in gold. And I know my sister-in-law has some of these that she stacks. My mother-in-law wears them because my sister-in-law got them for her. But these actually have, all of the Grogu things attached to it. So it's got things like Grogu's head, it's got Grogu in the pram, it's got the frog, it's got the blue butterfly. So, that's going to be a theme that you're seeing quite a bit repeated within the entire collection of Bauble Bar. But my personal picks include the Grogu ring set, which I absolutely think is just phenomenal. And I don't wear rings as much as I used to, on an everyday kind of basis, but I'm actually wearing them now more that I'm retired because I was, as a foods teacher, I was washing my hands literally 60 times a day.
Right.
So, there was no reason for me to wear rings. But now that I'm kind of over that, my eye goes more towards rings. And what I like about this one is that it includes 4 rings that, when they're stacked together, create the entire figure of Grogu. And I just think that's a cool detail, not showing not just the creativity of the piece, but it's like collectability too. And it's very blingy. So it's got the little rhinestones in the various colors that go from kind of a pink, on the inside of Grogu's ear to some kind of tan stones for his clothing, and that type of thing. But they've got the gold metal for the ring itself. And what I also like about it is it's not super gaudy. So it's not like this huge statement piece and I have small hands, so it's not going to take up like 3/4 of my finger, on my knuckle or anything like that. It's a sweet looking little ring, and it is $48. So that's my number one. And then my second favorite is actually the Grogu earring set for $58. So what I like about this one is that you can mix and match the set because you get the green frog stud earrings, and then you get a set of drop earrings that features the blue butterfly at the top and then Grogu dangling and kind of waving below it. So you can either like wear the pair that suits your mood, wear both pairs to create that galactic ear stack. And again, what I like about it is just the fact that you can mix or match it, studs, drops, or both. So it means it's not just a one look accessory. So of course the blue butterflies come from him being on Tython, when he was being, one with the force there. And of course we all know the significance of the frogs
Right.
and how much he loves those as a little snack. So so I really like these, and I think they could make either good stocking stuffer or just a fun little gift underneath the tree. So once again, this is at baublebar.com.
Yeah. It's gonna be a real problem if Grogu grows up someday in Star Wars shows,
Right.
and it's not nearly as cute. But could really impact what they can do product-wise with him. So they got to keep him
Yes.
young. Yeah.
It's true, and I know, and I have more Grogu stuff here coming up too. It just seems like, especially with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming out next year too, if you wanna get ahead on some of that merch, maybe now's the time, just
Yeah.
saying, you never know. Yeah, I'd love to see a teenage Grogu, let's see what you can do with that. He's gonna, wear Crocs and flannels and such, but
My
anyways.
dad, you're not. He'd be constantly
Tell me what to do, you won't.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, and he'll be wearing his, like, heavies earphones, and listening to Spotify and the whole 9 yards. Alright, so moving on to another sparkly addition to our gift giving here is, Girls Crew, which we've talked about several times on the show before, but they do have a brand new set called Rebel Wonderland Stud Earring Set. So this is a very merry mismatched Rebel themes stud earring set with 4 distinct studs made for one pair or an ear stack. And it's not your standard like matching pair. Okay. So the set includes a tiny Chewbacca wearing earmuffs, which I will admit looked like he was wearing headphones to me at
I was
first.
gonna say the same thing. Yes.
A red R2D2 droid, the Rebel Alliance insignia dangling from a snowflake, and lastly, Princess Leia hanging from a star. And so these are available in gold, rose gold, or silver. And one thing to note about all the Girls Crew pieces is that they are very dainty, so they can also be suitable for the youngling princesses as well. So they're not these huge statement pieces or really gaudy pieces of jewelry or anything like that. But I will say that I wish that the Leia earring could just be sold as an individual set because I just think that one is super cute, especially in the silver. That one
Mhm.
really caught my eye, and I would love to have that just by itself. But alas, not going to be the case. But right now they are on sale for the set is $68, and you can also choose, like I said, any one of the 3 different metals, either the gold, the rose gold, or the silver. And there are other types of Star Wars earrings available as well. And you can also mix and match these with some of their other traditional types of holiday earrings, such as their Christmas tree studs. They also have like a little candy cane stud, a gift, like a wrapped gift stud type thing that you can also pair with those as well. So if you want to do a bunch of little mismatched things, you can definitely do that as well. So once again, that is at girlscrew.com. So, one more Grogu thing. I think it's my last Grogu thing, anyways, is this time a little home warmer for your life. And this is from a company called Scentsy. And Scentsy is another one of those I know we've covered on the show. I actually have the R2D2 Scentsy warmer and the Darth Vader Scentsy warmer. So I would love to add this one to my collection. This is the Mandalorian slash Grogu holiday cheer Scentsy warmer. And so Scentsy is typically sold kind of like Avon. There is an independent consultant typically that you would buy the Scentsy products from, but you can go just directly to Scentsy.com, and they have more of a generic store that you can go to check these kinds of things out. And then if you do know someone locally that's selling some of these, then you can go through their website or their consultant. And I know the one that I typically use, she also gives some of the portions of her sales back to the local humane society. So a lot of the Scentsy consultants do have a philanthropy that they also work through, And so they'll donate some of their sales profits to those. Not all, but some of them do. So if that's something that's important to you, you can shop around for the Scentsy consultant that kind of fits your vision of those kinds of things. But focusing on the product, okay, picture this, Dennis. Your room lights up with a soft, cozy glow. And sitting there is cute little Grogu in a Santa coat, clutching a holiday ornament, which looks very much like a frog egg to me, just saying. And he's leaning on a holiday satchel detail where your wax melts are going to go. And he's ready to not only melt your wax, but your heart. Now that's holiday spirit in a galaxy far, far away. Wouldn't you agree?
You really sold that. Good job.
So if anyone wants to buy it for me, you can hit us up. I'm kidding. But Grogu is hand painted. He's around 6.5 inches tall. And this is a ceramic build with some glass and metal elements as well. It is big enough to stand out, but it's small enough to fit on a shelf or a nightstand. So Merry Mandalorian Christmas to everyone out there. It's not just a warmer, it's a display piece. And I will say that that is true of all of the Scentsy warmers. Now, this one doesn't project a light out the back or anything like that, like some of the other ones do. Like my Princess Leia or my R2D2 one projects Princess Leia out the back, like the hologram, and from A New Hope. And then my Darth Vader one has a red light in it that projects TIE fighters out the back of it. So that's really cool. But I will say that both of them are definitely statement pieces. And this one is great for the holidays, I would say. So it is advertised with a wax warmer called the Scent of Adventure Mandalorian wax clamshell, but there's actually over 80 scents available. And of course, you don't have to use a Scentsy wax in the Scentsy warmer. You can just go to your local Walmart and buy whatever kind of wax melts you want. But my husband actually really likes the Scent of Adventure, and he's kind of picky about the kind of odors that I put into the house. Not that he's ever said, "Oh, that stinks," but I try to be cognizant of that because, of course, scents can be really, you can be sensitive. You know what I mean? If something doesn't smell the way that your odor palette likes, then you're not happy. So I really try to be cognizant of that.
I
But
think when it's pleasant, it's supposed to be an aroma, not an odor.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But there is a short video on the website that shows a 360-degree view of the warmer.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to check that out, you can go to Scentsy.com. Yeah, you're right. It's not an odor, it's an aroma. I like that. A scent. That's why it's called Scentsy, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess when you grow up with two boys in the house, you know how it is. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of odors.
Oh, there's definitely odors when you have boys. That's all right.
Oh my gosh. Well, on that note, now I have another new website, and this one is called Homage. So it's HOMAGE. And this is a nostalgia driven apparel brand that packages officially licensed Star Wars gear, everything from like retro tees and hoodies to vintage style sweatshirts, and they're all in these fun clothing styles. So what really caught my eye was their sports fan page. So this has every team, for when I say every sport, it's the NFL. All 32 NFL teams are represented, and I actually saw more than one design available for many teams. So these
Yeah.
are all t-shirts.
Mhm.
So love this. Each professional team gets gear reimagined as a galactic version tied to either the light side or the dark side of the force. And so what I like about the look is that it really leans into that retro vintage. So you get a lot of hand-drawn graphics, kind of slightly worn textures, classic tee vibes, not super crisp and new, which is fine, but I really like the retro look. And it gives these shirts a timeless, hey, I wear this on any given Sunday kind of feel. And
Mhm.
what I also love about it is it gives nods to some of the local kind of if sort of things. Like if you are a Cincinnati Bengals fan, the Who Day,
Yep.
okay? And then Raise the Flags from Tampa Bay, the Bills Mafia from Buffalo. And for me personally, I especially appreciated the vote of confidence in the Cleveland Browns. the logo, "You don't know the power of the Browns." Well, neither do we in Cleveland, but
Just no one's
that's
known it
beside
for
the point.
years.
But I love it, and so they have all kinds of fun things. So, like, the seize the day for Cincinnati, and of course, you've
Right.
got Darth Vader with his force choke, and then the Bucks were the raise the flags, that's the Darth Maul, the Bills Mafia, Jabba the Hutt, very appropriate, and then, of course, Darth Vader once again with the, "You don't know the power of the Browns." So, a lot of fun, but if you, are looking for general Star Wars apparel, they have tons of those as well, and if, again, you're looking for some holiday things, they have some fun Bah Humbug Darth Vader designs. So it's Vader wearing a Santa hat on a black background, and those are available as crew neck sweatshirts, hoodies, or t-shirts. And they even have some inspirational quotes. So if you're into that, there's a Stormtrooper t-shirt with the quote, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." So it's got half a Stormtrooper head and then kind of an outline of the, shots being fired kind of thing to outline the rest of the Stormtrooper head. So I thought that was a fun little play, on the whole Stormtrooper missing things, but also being very philosophical at the same time.
Yes. Yeah.
So did you see anything on the site that you really liked or, for your team of choice, perhaps?
Well, I didn't. I'm a Bears fan, and I didn't think that they really captured the Bears all that well. I mean, storm the field, Chicago Bears. That really is apropos of nothing. When it comes to the Bears, they did better with some teams than they did the others. Like Cowboys,
Mhm.
they did Galaxy's team because they're America's team. That's their slogan. The
Yeah.
Vikings defend the North makes sense. So they did better with some teams than they did with others, and the jungle in Cincinnati, in addition to the Houday, they have the Ewoks in the jungle because that's what they call their stadium and the like. So yeah, no, some of those
Mhm.
are clever, but yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, some teams they did better than others, and those would be the ones that you'd probably be gravitate towards the most, I think.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I'm sorry
Mm.
that your team wasn't as well represented as some of the other ones.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Well, there you go. So, all right. So, our last edition here for World Between Worlds, this one would be a fun little stocking stuffer. And it is for the tech person in your life or the gamer person in your life. So, this is the Logitech, and I'm not even going to say all the letters and numbers, but it's the Millennium Falcon Edition Lightspeed Wireless Gaming Mouse. So if you hit up the link in our show notes, it will take you directly to the Walmart link where this is available. And it's really cool. So it's the silver mouse, and then it has kind of like a skin on it that shows, the top view of the Millennium Falcon. So it's got that ergonomic design that gamers really like to have. And then it's got a couple of the mouse buttons in red and blue. So some of the summaries that it boasts is it's a wireless up to 10 feet mouse that has flexible movement, and it's powered by a AA battery, and it has a precise sensor with a Hero 25K gaming sensor that provides incredibly precise tracking down to the sub-micron. So I know for gamers that's really, really important. Has customizable controls. Once again, those Star Wars aesthetics. This is an official licensed Star Wars piece of technology, and it does have those Millennium Falcon inspired thruster animations and portrays the iconic Millennium Falcon, as we said. Also has some hybrid switches that incorporates what they call the all new Light Force hybrid optical mechanical switch technology for, once again, the incredible speed, reliability, and precise actuation. And it also has a charging compatibility that allows it to stay charged continuously with a separately sold wireless charging solution. So, once again, this is put out by Logitech, and it is available on the Walmart website right now for $159.99. So, if, like, once again, if you have the gamer in your life, this might be very well accepted. But the only downside that I did find on this one is on the reviews, because I always like to check the
Yeah.
reviews on things.
Hmm.
And a couple shoppers said that they received the wrong version of the mouse, like they received the black one instead of the Millennium Falcon Special Edition one, and that they had issues sending it back, getting their money refund. and or getting their order corrected. So buyer
Yeah, but the
beware
most
on
recent
that one.
review about that is from January of 2025. So
Mm-hmm.
perhaps that problem has been fixed because it's there was November 2024, December 2024, and January 2025 are the 3 reviews, and there's been
Mm-hmm.
nothing said about it since. So hopefully that's been fixed.
Right.
If you're wanting to get that,
Yep. I like it. I think it's really cool. If I was a gamer, I would be totally all about this for
right?
sure.
Yeah,
All right. All right. So I think that's going to do it for us this time. I had one more, but I'm going to save it till next time. So that way, and you'll understand why next month. But at any point, we're going to wrap it up like a present. I had to
very
do
good.
one more, you know. So thank you all for joining us and, getting my puns here for episode 976 of Podcast Stardust and this holiday edition of World Between Worlds for December 2025. It's our last one of the year. Hopefully, you found some ideas to bring some Star Wars magic into your galactic home and slay those wish lists. Sorry, there was one more. And if this episode didn't fulfill your Star Wars gifting inspiration, please be sure to check out episodes 964 and 940. And that's actually where the Lego AT-AT was initially shared. So 964 and 940 both have even more holiday ideas. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode. And if so, make sure to subscribe to Podcast Stardust on all of your podcatchers of choice. And I'd also like to remind you that you can find all episodes of the podcast on retrozap.com. RetroZap is also home to several other great podcasts, including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Case Files, Animanicast, Brews and Blasters, Dork Lair, Dunecast, Enjoy Stuff, Love, Death, and Robots Plus, Superhero Suite, and Warp Trails. And as always, we greatly appreciate a 5-star rating and reviews on whatever podcatcher you use, and especially if that is Apple Podcasts. And we'd love it if you would please share the show and your favorite episodes on social media with your friends. Speaking of which, Dennis, can you remind everyone what those social media contacts are one more time?
All right. So Facebook and Instagram, we are at Podcast Stardust. We're looking for listener questions, and you can send those to us at podcaststardust@gmail.com. We have Pinterest boards, and then all the episodes are available on both YouTube and YouTube Music. And if you're looking for some Podcast Stardust swag, best place you can go is to TeePublic, and all of our various show logos are available on shirts over there.
All right. So coming up on the show on Friday, we have our regular news episode. And then on Monday, we're going to be getting back into another episode of the Clone Wars. And then on Wednesday, we will be revisiting our very last Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary segment for 2025. So that being said, thanks for joining us, everyone. And may the force of fashion be with you.